I see a lot of guys here in Atlanta. They wearing these Gucci shades, Louis V, Cuban links. I don't know if the women are looking at them as safety indicators.
Mm-mm.
And I could ask the women on the panel.
That's a red flag. Because
Nobody
it's
want
always
nobody flashy.
no. Listen, it's always the flashiest ones that are dead
That are
broke.
broke.
All that
Yes.
money was from a payday loan,
Yes.
or pawning something off.
That PPP
God
loan.
damn.
If
They
you really got
scammers.
money, you're gonna be driving a Honda Civic, 1999,
Or a Toyota
getting
Camry.
your shirts from Walmart
Mm-hmm.
because you got money.
A Lincoln Navigator.
Listen, just the more you're just a walk. Not only are you a walking red flag, you're a walking target. Like
I feel
even
like
celebrities don't walk around with their real jewelry. Majority of
I
them
call
now,
it
they just wear
hood
fake
rich.
stuff.
Like you like,
yeah. I feel like she was explaining a man who what we would call him like lame, like from Chicago, right? Like they had no swag, they had no, like what Marcus was saying, they had no sense of self before they got money. And so now that they have money, they're trying to create this persona that they are the guy now because they have it. So they're going above and beyond to prove to outside people that they are that person. But to women who have sense, I feel, and I'm not going to say that because that sounded mean. To women who are not drawn by flashy things, it'll automatically make me think you don't have anything.
And there's a difference between flash and class. Like a
Yes.
man will know how to dress. Let me tell you. And half the time, the way the things he wears, like they will be top name brands, but you won't know that.
You won't know.
because only a certain amount of men have access to this particular suit, because only a certain amount of men have this mentality to be able to work. So it's just, you could tell a lot about a person by the way they dress. Let me just say that.
So y'all telling me that a Cuban link don't get y'all coochie wet?
Nah.
No.
Because it could be
What
a
certain
Cuban
type of
link
women
on a
it do?
tomato. I don't care.
Yes,
tomato ain't
let's
gonna
be
get me
clear.
dressed.
To certain women, it does.
Marcus
Right? It
is
just
correct.
depends on the
Certain
woman.
women. Yes, certain
It depends on the woman. But you know what really turns a woman on? When you open that door. You know what I mean? You know what really turns a woman on? When the dishes are done when we came home. What really gets their panties wet? Ooh, when you tell us.
Sound like a sucker.
Or when you want even more? Like you guys are mad. Like
when you take care of my
where
car.
does it end? When he opened his legs?
When you're able to take that aggression and put it in a different way towards a woman instead of like combative way, but you're able to seduce her with that. That's the stuff that really is like, okay, so
y'all know what's
Andrea.
now that part I agree with you.
Andrea over there like when you tie a nigga up, suck him off.
Right. Andrea knows what I'm talking about. That's what gets us. But I tell you, that is what.
I totally agree with her. I feel like sometimes we be having these kind of conversations and you will not have to ask a woman to be like a traditional care provider if you just do those things that really matter. Like it won't feel like you're asking. Women, we will just want to do things for you. Like if you can't cook, then I can cook, and it's because you want to, not because it's like a duty, but it's because you genuinely want to, because he's taking little details like opening the door for you, doing
car maintenance.
Yeah, car maintenance.
It's the details. Women are very detail oriented. It's the little tiny details.
I will go back
the little tiny stuff, and
I'll go back to the beginning of the conversation. To Andrea's point, a woman will naturally fall into her role, right? Like in that nurturing and providing and being a helpmate if that man is showing up in that way, in the way that specific woman needs, right? Because it's different for every woman. But if you're already doing that, a woman is naturally going to fall into that role.
But everything she mentioned wasn't a natural wasn't a natural role of a man. They talk like cooking, the little details in cooking, the little details in cleaning the dishes when she doesn't expect it and all that other shit.
No, the thing she said was that I keyed in on. She said when you able to turn your aggression or your masculinity and dominance into seduction versus argumentative and nitpicking. I think that's probably the key to like sexual attraction. like being masculine in a way that's dominant, but it's not like naggy. Because that nitpicking shit, it's from a distance, it damn near look like how women when they be nagging and nitpicking. Like that shit, don't nobody want to be nitpicked and nag. Now you can assert yourself in a way that turn her on. Like, hey, nah, sit down, shorty. That's not how this gonna go. And that can go away if you just and like you come off kind of like.
I think I know what you mean, Marcus.
Yeah.
So y'all talking about using aggression as a way to turn you on, to get the sort of like, give me that pussy.
Yeah, 100%.
So Darwin,
a little bit more better.
Darwin, when you
effort.
There was Darwin, you were saying earlier that you would try to sway a woman. I think that's a horrible idea. I'll say why. Because as some of the ladies mentioned a little earlier, like women, they naturally fall into your program if you are a man that they are attracted to, right? So you can't really convince women to do anything. I think that you should never try to convince a woman to do anything, right? So if it's a woman that doesn't do things that you like and isn't the way that you are, there's enough women to choose from where you could just find somebody who is attracted to you enough to naturally do these things for you. When you try to sway women, you're going to end up with a really horrible situation, because if they're playing into that, then it's likely that they're not going to be able to be consistent with that. They won't be able to sustain that type of energy. So I think your best bet is to just find women who already do what you like, right? And if there's certain things women are going to be attracted to, they just told you a lot of things that they're attracted to, and it's going to be most of you. That flashy thing, it works for certain women for what you're trying to do. Nothing sustainable, right? But a lot of dudes do that, and I'll tell you why they do that. I did that shit before, but I knew what I was looking for at the time. I was trying to get it in real quick, and females are attracted to shiny things, right? A lot of women know better not to act on it, but women see it and they be like, oh, all right. And you might look a certain way, and they'll some of them won't react to that because they'll know better from past experiences, but they'll like it. Especially the young ones, they'll see that, and you'll be able to get a jump off here and there. But are you going to try to build a wife from somebody who is attracted to those things? Probably not.
But so why do we act like men only have one way of showing their money? Men don't only show that
we don't.
Exactly. Men know exactly how to peacock when it comes to showing that a woman how much he earns. And it ain't always he shows up with a Cuban link with flashy jewelry on in the middle of a club. That's just one way that men show that they have money. Men show a number of ways. And if you ask any man, money makes a whole lot of shit a whole lot easier than being broke. We know that money can change. Right. So why are we pretending that men don't know how to use money to get what they want?
A lot of men don't, Sweeney. A lot of men don't, Sweeney. I'll give you an example. Like, you remember the dude on Pop the Balloon, Mozzie, who had all the chains and shit?
Yeah, he was faking. He had the stage private jet.
Yeah, and all of that.
Yeah.
That example probably would turn most women off outside of that. But you put him in a club setting in that same attire.
It's up.
So like the trail point, like when you play the I'm a flash shit in your face game, the women you're gonna attract usually more so are flings. Like that's some one night stand shit at the club. The woman that's looking for, like, to your point, Sweeney, about like having something that's more subtle, like being more quietly, you're able to do things. Like you don't have to sit there and say, yeah, look, I got a Gucci shirt on, woo woo. It's just you dress nicely and you could tell that you look like you know what I'm saying? You put some thought into that. And it don't have to be the most expensive, but the way you live your life with all, like, it all comes like subtlety, right? It all comes in subtlety.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like he's just one, he's the example of the flashy type. It works in certain settings. And then when you want a different result, it works. You gotta do it in a different way. He obviously let's be real here. Pop the Balloon ain't the best place to evaluate the type of women that we saw on there. But you just said it. If he was in a different setting, he would have been on go. He wouldn't have had no problem pulling some chicks in certain settings. I'm talking about we know that men know how to show that they have money in different ways and be able to provide that and exude that without it looking corny. Like a dude that's generous. They talk about men that are generous. And I don't mean generous as in he's trying to pay everything or like just throwing his money around, but like, don't worry about that. I got that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But physical attraction is also a big thing too. Like women love, like if a man is fine, he's fine. So he doesn't necessarily have to wear all the glitz, the glamour, because there are men that will be in the freaking work clothes and we're like, oh god damn, you know. So it's just like it's not really needed to be honest.
That's just a man showing that he's a hardworking man.
I think that
exactly.
That's still him showing peacock and saying, look,
that's my favorite type.